This wide receiver class is simply underrated. Today, I want to give you three wide receivers that down the board are going to be steals for these teams that take a shot on them in day two or day three of the NFL draft. Let's kick off the list today with Jaden Higgins, a guy that does get a little bit of coverage, but not nearly the amount that he deserves. At 6'4", 210, he has that ideal size, but also a massive catch radius and frame in general going into the next level. But last year, his production was there. 87 receptions, 1.1 thousand yards, and 9 touchdowns after being just one game away from the college football playoff. He was amazing for the Cyclones just last season. He was second team All Big 12 on that season I just mentioned, and he only had a 2% drop rate despite the crazy volume that he had all season long. I think he's great in contested catch situations. The only thing that you want to worry about when Jaden Higgins is that he doesn't have the top end speed of, let's say, a Matthew Golden, right? Or a Xavier Worthy from last year's draft. But outside of that, he has star potential written all over him, and the team's going to be very happy with him as early as round 2. Pat Bryant out of Illinois dominated Senior Bowl and the Combine weekends, respectfully. And last year, he had 54 receptions, almost 1,000 yards, and 10 touchdowns. So his production is there with a 6'2", 205-pound frame. But don't be mistaken, this guy can make you miss in the open fields. Over the last 2 years, he had 43 missed tackles, so he's shifty when he needs to be. When I watch this dude, he just reminds me of like a young Keenan Allen, a guy that's not fully there yet, but the potential to be a great route runner at the next level, and a guy that's just sure hands. He's a safety blanket for any quarterback that he does have. That's what Pat Bryant reminds me of, kind of like a Keenan Allen. So keep that in mind. And hey, he was second team All Big 10 last year, and his play strength is great. You love to see it because he's aggressive when he needs to be, but he's a willing run blocker. And that's why I could see him going a lot higher than maybe he's already projected to go, which is like a round 3, maybe a day 3 pick. I think he can go a lot higher due to his run blocking ability. But Pat Bryant was a huge part of this Illinois offense, and he's going to be, again, for another team at the next level. And one of my favorite prospects in this class is Savion Williams. Now, I do think he has the potential to be a round 2 pick, but I don't think he's getting the coverage he deserves. At 6'5", 225, he did a little bit of everything for the Horned Frogs last season. 6 rushing touchdowns, 6 receiving touchdowns, and he also threw a touchdown to his teammate Jack Beck there late in the season. He reminds me of a better, more athletic Cordero Patterson, where at 6'5", he's unexpectedly shifty, right? He can move like a running back in the open field, and that is paired with his massive size and catch radius in the receiving game. I had him going to the Baltimore Ravens in my recent mock draft because he could just be a great, back shoulder fade kind of a receiver down the sideline. But you can also use them in a variety of different ways. Give him these jet sweeps, these motions, these little bubble screens, and let him go to work. That's what's exciting about Savion Williams. But the thing I want to say, though, he's a great run blocker. But the negatives here, he had an 11.8 drop percentage. He had a lot of drops last year, and they weren't pretty, right? A lot of those, he was coming off of a big play. Then they go to him again, and he's already looking upfield, and he drops the football. So Savion, we got to work on these focus drops, because if he can just cut that down to, let's say, 4% at the next level, he can have the potential to be a 1,000-yard guy in year number 1. But those are 3 wide receivers that I absolutely love this year, and they're not getting the credit and the coverage that they deserve. But let me know in the comments your favorite wide receiver, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.